Okay guys, welcome back. Now this is the optional part here. That's why if you notice it's quite a bit shorter than most of my videos. This is because all this stuff here is purely optional. You don't have to do it, but one of the things, well, everything I would strongly suggest doing, especially if you want that perfect game. So the first thing we're going to do is drive around in the desert area. We just got the buggy from Dio, and this is the enemy that you want to find. It's this three-headed thing. What you want to do is manipulate him, and he has a sweet enemy skill that you can grab from him. This is also the easiest place to get this. There is going to be a Genova boss fight in a while where Genova casts Aqualung, but this is the only other enemy that can do it, and you won't have the buggy forever, and once you lose the buggy you can never fight in this desert area again. You can find this enemy in one other spot on the map, but this is definitely the easiest place to get him. I actually am going to have to use that other spot to find that enemy. It's called a harpy. So I can get the other enemy skills that I'm going to get later on in the game. Get those with Aqualung, but for right now, Aqualung is a sweet enemy skill. It's really powerful for this point in the game. Next up, we want to drive on this beach, and we're going to find these enemies here. These enemies also have a really nice enemy skill. So we're going to take out two of them and manipulate this one here. And it's Big Guard is the enemy skill. And what that does is it's wall, essentially, for the barrier. If you get a barrier materia, the very last one you can get is called wall. It does the regular barrier and the MP barrier at the same time. It's pretty expensive in terms of MP points to use, but it's really nice if you're in a boss fight or something like that. Next up, we are going to head up here and back to Costa del Sol. Now if you see those light green areas, or teal or whatever you want to call it, you can cross those areas where rivers are. Now when you get to Costa del Sol, be sure that you drive in with your buggy. It's very important. Now we're going to head back. Do you remember where we first got here? We were on that ship. Well, now we have the ability to take it back to the other continent. So we just head back to the ship, talk to this sailor. He makes you pay 100 Jill for it, which is nothing. Now we gotta run all the way back out of town, which takes a little while. It's definitely a lot faster getting back to the ship than it is leaving the ship. Now, as you can see, we have the buggy with us on this continent. See, if you walk into Costa del Sol and you're not on your buggy, you won't have this with you, and you have to have it with you to get what we're going to get next. Okay, first, before we go to where we're going next, drive into this dark area here, and almost every time you're going to run into one of these guys. I don't remember what he's called. It starts with a Z. It's just a big ass owl, if you ask me. He has another, which is probably actually one of my favorite enemy skills. So what we're going to do is do what we did with the other two enemies. We're going to manipulate him, and he is going to give us White Wind. What White Wind does is it's a cure-all, and it's based off of how many hit points the character that casts it has. So for example, Cloud right now has 1034 HP. If he were to cast White Wind right now, it would do 1034 HP to everyone in the party. So it just depends on how much HP you have. That's how much it'll cast. And it's an all too. While we're over here too, this is also the time where the next Fort Condor battle is happening. So if you want to do all the Fort Condor battles, this is the time to do it. Now that we have that, we're going to head north and head across another one of these things. We're going to take a right. I accidentally took a left. Until we see this cave right here. We're going to get out, come in here, and this is what's known as the Sleeping Man. Now he gave me the bolt ring. I think I was actually lucky enough to have my battle number. What happens is when you talk to this guy, he tells you how many times you fought in battle. Well, he gives you something if your number of battles fought is a number divisible by 11. So 11, 22, 33, 44, 55, so on. He'll give you an item. So after fighting, I came back in, he didn't say anything to me. So I came back out and fought a little bit more. You just want to run around. If he tells you how many times you fought, then you'll know exactly how many battles you need. So then once I knew I had the right number, I ran back in here. I was at 277 battles. So he already gave me the bolt ring. Now he gives you Mythril. And what we do with the Mythril you will find out a little bit later, but it's very important if you want a perfect game. So remember, it can be you can be in the hundreds, you can be in the thousands of battles. It doesn't matter, as long as you fought the last two numbers, you can multiply by 11 or divisible by 11. Now we're going to head back, but this is a much faster way of doing this. Instead of going back up the elevator, come to the shoreline and hit circle. You still have that whistle that Priscilla gave you that calls the dolphin. So now the dolphin will come to you and he'll take you directly to the cargo ship. So you just hop on the dolphin. And just like that, you're sailing back on the ship. Now these guys are usually pretty weak and easy to kill. However, their attacks are completely random. They'll always throw a card at you. If you get that Joker card, it automatically casts death. So that's the worst attack that they can have, but it is possible that they could just draw the Joker card every time. So you'll want to be sure to kill them as fast as you can. You can't steal anything from them, and you can't manipulate them. The next area we're going to head to is Gongaga, or Gongaga, however you want to pronounce it. And Gongaga is right here, and so that'll conclude the optional section, and now we will continue on with the main part of our story.